But the most egregious of all of these, Maria, is when he tells the families that have lost their loved ones in war in Iraq or Afghanistan that he lost his son, Beau Biden, in Iraq. No, he didn't. I have heard that many times from our Gold Star families, from them straight to me, that he keeps claiming his son Beau was killed in Iraq. We know that's a lie, and the president knows it's a lie.
Conservatives believe they have a firm grip on military families' mindsets so much they don't blink an eye when they ironically insult military families just for the sake of claiming them.
Headaches, numbness, dizziness, a cancer that would put them in a flag-draped coffin. I know. One of those soldiers was my son, Major Beau Biden. I don't know for sure if the burn pit that he lived near, that his hooch was near, in Iraq and earlier than that in Kosovo, is the cause of his brain cancer, the disease of so many other troops.
There's an odd privilege that they think they have that allows them to downplay the sacrifices the president's family has made. The thing is, there are so many other things to criticize Biden over, but since the political world is filled with fake people, they think that they can't allow servicemen and women that identify as Democrats to be seen, or else conservatives will lose their marketing strategy as being for the troops.
I am so sick of him always comparing the death of his children anytime there's an American that is tragically killed. He has to stop doing it. He doesn't know what it feels to have an illegal kill his child. And he's never met with any of the angel parents as well.
Isn't it weird to get that upset over how a father that lost his kid brings it up to relate to other families that have lost children in similar ways? It can only piss you off that much if you think it hurts your heartless narrative that only your political views count when family members pass away. In the world of mourning and grief, does it really matter if the president's son died literally on the battlefield or due to conditions he endured while serving?
I know. It hurts. The hurt is still real, still raw. This week marks 9 years since I lost my son, Beau. Our losses are not the same. He didn't perish in the battlefield. He was a cancer victim from a consequence of being in the Army in Iraq for a year next to a burn pit. A major in the U.S. Army National Guard, living and working like too many besides that toxic burn pit. And as it is for so many of you, the pain of his loss is with me every day as it is with you. Still sharp, still clear. But so is the pride I feel in his service, as if I can still hear him saying, "It's my duty, Dad, it's my duty." Duty. That was the code that my son lived by and the creed all of you live by. A creed that generations of service members have followed in the battle.
Just like the unwritten rule that children of political figures are off limits to vicious attacks, it shouldn't be that hard to apply that to non-political military family members of elected officials as well. But for the perception war to be won, decency is clouded by the need to degrade their opponents.
Why did President Biden have a private meeting with a witness who plans to testify in court against his son?
Can you say more?
Hallie Biden is a key government witness who allegedly disposed of a gun that Hunter is accused of buying illegally. President Biden was at her house this week.
I think the American people should also be told the full breadth of this, not just a part of this question here. As you all know, the president actually spoke to this yesterday during his memorial, I think impactful, powerful Memorial Day address, where he talked about the passing, the anniversary, the 9th anniversary of the passing of his son. And he visited her as that anniversary is approaching. He visited her days before the anniversary of the passing of his son. And she is family. She was married, obviously, to his late son. And I think that is something also to mention as you're asking your question to me.
So they did not talk about her testimony?
This was not about that. This was about literally the 9th anniversary of the passing of his son. That is upcoming in days. Peter
Ducey must have thought he had a big scoop on the Hunter Biden criminal case when he heard that Joe went to visit his deceased son's widow just days before her testimony that would harm Hunter's defense. So he stuck his foot in his mouth and looked pretty heartless by continuing to bowl through the very credible explanation that the visit wasn't about trying to intimidate her into helping Hunter out. Instead of asking a question, he was instead hell-bent on trying to make a statement, one that they hoped would help their MAGA candidate not look so much like the only troops he honors are the ones that attack the country in his name.
But those J6 warriors, they were warriors, but they were really more than anything else. They're victims of what happened. All they were doing is protesting a rigged election. That's what they were doing. And then the police say, go in, go in, go in.
Without blinking an eye, he'll praise his foot soldiers and call them warriors and prisoners over their disdain for the law. If he can equate his lawbreakers to those that actually serve, he thinks it'll give them some sympathy and shield them from criticism and prosecution. The stories of his lack of respect for the military and open declarations from his own damn mouth are remembered, even if he doesn't pay close enough attention to those who realize it.
Donald Trump is a disgusting human being. He's a terrible person. And it's revealed time and time again, but especially when he continues to be a political flamethrower against people in uniform. It happened with John McCain. It happened with Kelly. It happened with the Khan family. It happened with Alex Vindman. It happens over and over again. And it shows how he has no integrity. It shows how he has no honor. And I also think it's bad politically. I think this is exactly the kind of thing that drives away moderate Republicans, which are still out there, drives away independents especially, and in swing states. 50% of veterans are independent. These are the people that he's fighting tooth and nail against Biden for. And I think these things continue to pile up and drive those people away.
Paul Reichoff there pointed out how many independent veterans there are, but I don't think MAGA is aware of the diverse group of people that quietly pay attention to the way Trump goes about using who he thinks are his supporters for his own benefit. He just moves from speech to speech with the mindset that no matter what he says or does, veterans are behind him 100%. Again, it's all perception that his surrogates adopt to pass him off as a well-liked leader that has respect of the rest of the world.
This is one thing where we look at our allies. Do they trust the United States of America? Mm-hmm. Do they trust President Joe Biden? And I can tell you that when I travel to European nations, all of them ask, where's American leadership? You know, they didn't ask that. They didn't ask that 4 years ago.
No, they didn't.
But they are asking it now. We have seen him abandon our allies in Afghanistan with the withdrawal. We see it again when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. And most certainly, Israel has to wonder as well, where is Joe Biden? Where is American leadership?
Steve, people of this world, not this country, are looking for leadership. We have zero leadership in this country. We have almost zero in Europe. I haven't met most of them, but, I mean, they couldn't lead their way out of a paper bag. You know, we're losing, you know, and people need to understand that we're losing. But even the Europeans understand, my God, we got to have somebody like Trump that will step up and tell the dang truth to people. You might not like it, but he will tell you that, and he's going to try to correct it. And again, I'm excited.
It's more PR politics, where senators and Congress people relay stories that the rest of the world is dropping to their knees and begging for America to teach them how to survive every time a Republican isn't in the White House. Just because Donald Trump and an old football coach say that the entire world panics when he's not in office doesn't make it true. We can believe their trust me stories or the sound of the international community literally laughing at the guy when he claims that the opposite is happening.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.